So I just watched Daredevil and Elektra. I have some juicy thoughts about this movie, so you better sit your ass down because we're gonna be talking about these. I have some things to rant. That seems like I have some mainly negative things to say, but spoiler alert, not true. I do have some fair criticisms just in the sake of fairness, but like anyway. So here's my mini review of these movies. Daredevil, which came out in 2003, is a really good Daredevil movie. And that's it. No. There's things about it that I really liked. Like, once again, the action was very good. There were some very that, yeah, like all of these thus far have had that very early 2000s vibe to them, which again is not the worst thing in the world, but it is there and you can't deny it, I don't think. But yeah, the action was good. It had some very nice flashy action that I was really impressed by, and even some cool visuals, like the way Daredevil sees the world in this version was very unique and sort of cool, and I liked it. I guess my closing thought would be it can't be Charlie Cox, but this Ben Affleck's version is still very unique and memorable, and I like this movie. And even Kingpin in this movie was very well made, and even Bullseye, again, Colin Farrell is not Wilson Bethel, but it was a pretty good unique Bullseye, and I liked it, and it was different, and I guess that's the main thing about it. And yeah, I guess that's it for Daredevil. For Elektra, I have to say it was okay. I did like sort of how they handled Elektra's paranoia and trauma and all that, sort of how it with a very classic cliche that a person's trauma and paranoia sort of she or he is forced to sort of confront her fears and come out as a better person because of it. I think that was handled pretty well. I did not like the hand for like this a group of elite warriors from ancient times. They were killed off very easily. Like, there was the one guy. There was I don't know if he had a name, but there was one guy who was bulletproof, and he got killed by a tree. And it wasn't even the biggest tree possible. It was just a tree, okay, like medium-sized tree. I'm not gonna make a dick joke, but a tree landed on top of him and he gets crushed very easily. It felt too easy, in my opinion. That was kinda iffy to me. The action was solid. I liked it. But I guess my main complaint is I guess I didn't like Jennifer Garner as Elektra. She, I guess, never felt truly like believable to me, if that makes any sense. I liked it, but I don't know. I can't believe the words that are coming out of my mouth, but I had seen Deadpool and Wolverine, and I had sort of had this idea of what this character was, and seeing this was different. Like, it felt like it wasn't the same Elektra. Also, one other thing was this Elektra movie felt very disconnected from the Daredevil movie, which if that's what they were going for, it's fine. But And yeah, I'm not saying like Daredevil should have come in and saved the day or anything like that, but I'm just saying if it it wasn't too clear whether or not it was even in the same universe. There wasn't like a big flashback from to the first movie. Like there was one scene where she was in the ambulance getting treated in that costume that was in the Daredevil movie, but again, that wasn't too clear that it wasn't in the Daredevil movie. And anyway, I guess that's sort of a thing that happened in these movies because, like I said, oh, and also I found out Kevin Feige was a producer, a co-producer of this movie, and you can clearly see the divide between these movies because as much as probably someone like Kevin Feige would have wanted to make sure that they're all in the same continuity, a movie like Elektra just feels disconnected. If this was in the MCU, however, I feel they would have made the connections very, more tighter. And yeah, I guess you can clearly see that this is what Kevin Feige was going for, and it's kind of cool to think to how this all started because all these movies could have, well, I'm not saying they would have performed better if they were in the same universe, but it would have been cool to see them all in the same universe, because that's what they were trying to do. But again, there's too much of a divide between these movies because it's different studios. For example, it was Fox for the X-Men, it was Sony for the Spider-Man, it was Universal for the Hulk movie. All these could have been in the same universe, but since because of back in the 90s where comic books weren't really popular and they weren't really keeping Marvel in business, they had to they had to sell these rights to these movie characters so they could be made into movies. The X-Men and Spider-Man were, and you know how that works. And yeah, it clearly shows that there was divide between them in a way. And yeah, I'm very glad that Kevin Feige finally got his wish to actually make all these movies connect, and that's cool. It's cool how we got the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But anyway, let's not get into that yet. But overall, I'd say for these two movies, once again, every one of these movies I've seen thus far in my Doomsday rewatch is they've all had very unique and cool and solid action, and that has been the case thus far, and it's cool. I will, however, say this is not really fault of these movies, but I want to say that I do think I have been kind of pre-proposed. No, I've been what's the word? Preconceived? No, that's a whole different other. Predisposed, maybe the correct term. Anyway, I've seen the Charlie Cox version of this iteration of Daredevil, so I've seen the way they do things, so it may not be entirely fair for these movies because they obviously, they came before, but they still are very different, and I much prefer the Charlie Cox version of Daredevil. And what's her name? Elodie Young, is that her name? Her version of Elektra. And yeah, that's her name, Elodie Young. Her version of Charlie Cox's version of Daredevil and Elodie Young's version of Elektra, which I believe were better. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. Anyway, that's about it for my quick mini review of these movies. Yeah, next up will be The Hulk from 2003. I will probably not make a 5-meter on that, but again, I've said that about every single one of these movies, and I've made thus far. I've 5 meter on every one of these. But if that comes, be on the lookout. Subscribe and see. Also, just let me tell you this. Let me tell you something. Oh, it would have been cool to see Punisher in the Daredevil movie. But anyway, let me tell you something. Sorry, I can't help it. I have to. Anyway, let me tell you something. I can't help it now. I will be linking down my Twitter, where I also review these movies, give up my mini review. I will also link down below my Letterbox account, but I will also link down my Letterbox reviews of these movies directly, so you can see them directly in the description below, so you can go directly. I said that too much. You can go directly. I said it again to the actual review if you want to see that. So those are down below. Like this video if you like this review. Give me some thoughts on these movies if you've seen them, or if you want to join this Marvel Cinematic Universe Doomsday rewatch that I've been starting from the first day of June all the way up to the release of Avengers Doomsday on December 18th. Come along, join me on this Doomsday rewatch. And I have the Google Sheet document that I use to stay on track, on schedule for this. So yeah, go check that out. And hope you liked this video. If you did, I already said this thing. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one, and thanks for watching.